All right, folks. What is good? How is everybody doing? This is episode 275 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller, and over here we talk about Georgia Southern and Atlanta Falcons football. But today, I'm not going to be talking about either one. There's not much to talk about on either front when it comes to Georgia Southern and Atlanta Falcons football. The Georgia Southern just got finished doing this big push as far as recruiting. They also were able to solidify some commitments, so that's pretty cool. But there's nothing really out there to make, like a big story on. But they're just going to keep chugging right along. As far as the Falcons, they're still in the off season. They signed a few players, got rid of a couple. I think they got rid of Matt Gano. But there's not much there. So we're getting ready for the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 56 is set, and we're going to talk about Tom Brady because they really made a really big deal about Tom Brady retiring or whatever the case may be. And they were saying, like, did he really retire or whatever? I don't think he retired yet. Everybody in the NFL is going to retire at some time, but I don't think that he has at the time it was reported. It's going to be really funny to see because I think it's a good time for him to retire, but hey, if he feels like he wants to play, good. So, because there's been a lot of reports out there after the fact that Adam Schefter reported it, and they're still sticking by their guns. They're still thinking that he's going to end up retiring. It just was announced differently, but we're going to get into all that. Not going to do too much as far as the Super Bowl, like picks or whatever the case may be. If you've been listening to me lately, you kind of know who I'm going with, but we're going to get into a little bit of that, and we're going to talk about Tom Brady. We're going to close this out. Really quick Monday. Like I said, even though there's a lot of news, there's not much news on my front, but I'm going to give you guys my thoughts and opinions on a few things. If this is your first time here, welcome to the First and Frame Rate Show. Like I said, over here I talk about Georgia Southern and Atlanta Falcons football. Nothing to really talk about on those two teams. I also have this up on iTunes, Google Play, also on Spotify, Stitcher, and Anchor, and possibly on your favorite platform, whatever you like to listen to. Just search First and Frame Rate. I should pop right on up, and I welcome you. Thank you guys for taking the time out to listen. All right, let's go ahead and get into this. Super Bowl 56 is set. The Los Angeles Rams are going to the Super Bowl. They're going to be hosting the Super Bowl. Second time in 2 years that a team is hosting the Super Bowl. Last year it was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They host the Super Bowl in their own stadium. And turn right around the following year, the Los Angeles Rams are hosting the Super Bowl in their stadium. Now, Jared Goff was able to that's basically what he did, manage the team to a Super Bowl. Him and Sean McVay did a pretty good job of getting them to the Super Bowl, but albeit losing to the Patriots and Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. The game was not that fun to watch. Jared Goff had opportunities to win that game because that game was not a good game to watch, to be honest. It was a very low score. I think it was like 13-3. It was a low scoring game, very defensive game. As far as the offense goes, like I said, Jared Goff had plenty of opportunities to win that game. A couple of bad throws. I think Stephon Gilmore got an interception off of him, and it was I ain't gonna say it was unfortunate because I had no dog in the fight, but I felt like there was just missed opportunities left on the field. So Jared Goff, a few years later, they end up getting rid of Jared Goff. Jared Goff moves on to the Lions. They trade him for Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford ended up getting these guys to the Super Bowl, beating Tom Brady in Tampa Bay and beating the 49ers, which was pretty much their nemesis throughout the season. The 49ers, I think the 49ers beat them twice already this year, and they turn right around and they find a way to beat them in the playoffs. Pretty good game by the Rams. They came back from a 17-7 deficit. Kyle Shanahan once again loses another lead as an offensive coordinator for my Atlanta Falcons. End up losing the world-known 28-3 Super Bowl, and turn right around and lose another Super Bowl to the Kansas City Chiefs after leading in the fourth quarter. And it happens once again with the 49ers. He was leading in the fourth quarter up 10, and they end up losing the game. So kudos to Kyle Shanahan. In my opinion, he is a career choker, and I don't care what anybody else say. Maybe one day he'll win a championship. Maybe. I'm not really sure. I don't think so. It ain't going to happen. Nope. But to me, he's a choker. It's 3 times in a row you had opportunity to have a Super Bowl under your belt, albeit you was the offensive coordinator, but everybody touted you as the person to call the plays, your offensive genius, and I think he does a pretty good job calling plays. He just don't call them at the right time. He's a genius of making plays, calling plays, but when stuff like this happens, nobody wants to talk about how smart he is. No, he's smart. I'll still give it to him. He just made, bad decisions down the stretch. It is what it is. Keep the same energy. That's what they say, right? But nevertheless, let's get back to these Rams. The Rams are poised to beat the Bengals. I think that they have all the tools to beat the Bengals, and the Bengals have all the tools to beat the Rams. The Bengals, a lot of people don't think these two teams are very identical. Very identical. They look, the quarterback, the running game. You look at the receivers, the defense. I think the slight edge goes to the Rams when it comes to the defense because you got that front seven. Is like, even though the Bengals front seven has played a lot better lately, you can't get better than Aaron Donald and Von Miller and Leonard Floyd. Floyd Leonard, I can't remember. I think it's 1 or 2. He played for Georgia. I can't remember. You can't get no better than those 3 off top. Those guys. Then you got Jalen Ramsey and Eric Weddle. You got a pretty good. You have a pretty good defense, and I give the nod to the Rams. But hey, look. The Bengals just got finished beating the Chiefs. The Bengals beat the Titans. These guys can play some football and they can find ways to win. So there, to me, right now, I look at it as a toss-up. Like I said, if they'll give a nod to anything, I give a nod to the Rams defense. But I will say that Joe Burrow, man, what can you say about this kid? Joe Burrow has shown how to win games and how to win games in the most poised fashion. To be so young, well, he's a little bit older than most people in his class, but to be so early in his NFL career and play the way he's played, staring down the barrel of a Titans defense, staring down the barrel of a front seven like the Chiefs, which, the Titans defense was really good. The Chiefs defense was above average, but still, in Arrowhead, you find a way to get your team in position to win a game. Now you have to go up against the defense against the Rams. Can he continue to do so? Like I said, he's capable. I think he's capable because, he shows that he can make plays in the face of adversity. So I think he's capable of doing it. And I'm not going to say, oh, man, this team is in trouble, or whatever the case may be. I think they have a legitimate shot, even though I still give the nod with all things even. I think pretty much everything is even the special teams. I do give the one that's not even is the defense of the Rams. I think the Rams defense is slightly, if not just better than the Bengals defense. But when you have a quarterback like Joe Burrow, you got guys like Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and you have Mixon. You got weapons to move the ball, so they should be able to do okay with this. They should be able to do okay. It's not like it's going to be a situation where they're not going to be able to move the ball at all. Now, flip side to the Rams, you got Matthew Stafford, you got Odell Beckham, you got Cooper Kupp, you got Jefferson, you got Sony Michel, you have Cam Akers. I don't know if Cam Akers is going to be coming back. He may be significantly injured. I'm not sure. He has a shoulder injury. And I think the Bengals have an injury as well. I think their tight end got hurt or something like that. I can't remember. I didn't really look into it too much. But throughout the weekend or throughout the week and next week, we'll find out the big issue. Because whoever's injured now, that could change because the Super Bowl is on the 13th. I think it's you got a good ways away. Yeah, February 13th. We got basically 2 weeks. So who's ever injured is you just don't know how that's going to play out. Nevertheless, when you look at the Rams, the team on paper is like loaded. I mean, it's a loaded team with a good bit of superstars. I mean, like guys that could be like prominent players on another team type. You know, you put Von Miller on another defensive line, he's going to be the guy. Odell Beckham resurrected his career basically because when he was in Cleveland, I was like, my God, is this dude washed up? Comes to the Rams and he's something once again. So he could be a number one somewhere. Hell, Cooper Kupp is a number one in my opinion. Jalen Ramsey, number one. He's a number one cornerback. Eric Weddle comes back 2 years later and playing like a pretty good safety. Leonard Floyd could go to another team and be the guy. You know, so there's a lot of guys on this team that can actually be, you know, prominent if these guys are able to go, if they were to go somewhere. And you got them all on one team. So with that being said, it's like these dudes are really loaded. They're loaded. So if they're on top of their game, I'm going to tell you, if they're on top of their game, they have the ability to run the Bengals out of the stadium. And, you know, and after everything I just said for the last 10, 11 minutes, I feel like they have, on paper, the tools to run the Bengals out of the stadium. The game could be overwhelming to the Bengals. It's their first time here. You know, the bright lights. There are not too many veterans that are there that could keep this team like together. So if the Rams could get these guys out of their element to not play loose and not play like they're having fun, the Bengals could be in trouble just based on what they have on paper. Now, flip side of that, before I get into Tom Brady, if the Bengals play loose and they feel like they have nothing to lose and they feel like they're not scared of anybody, it's them against the world, the Rams could be in for a shock to the point where this could be like a Rams 49ers game, not the current one that just passed, but a Rams 49ers game where the Bengals could find a way to stymie the Rams. And with all that star power, the Rams will probably will have nowhere to go and nothing to do on the field. They'll be like, you know, a bunch of 3 and outs. But, you know, the Bengals just going to have to come out there and play like they're having fun. If not, it could go the other way around. That's like I said, this game is going back and forth to where we don't know what's really going to happen. Because like I said, these teams are evenly matched. Even with the star power of the Rams, the Bengals do have the ability to take it to the Rams and vice versa. Now, like I said, I do give the edge to the Rams defense, and that's pretty much it. But with a guy like Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase and them, those guys can be able to, I think they can still move the ball on this team. So it's going to be really interesting to see. And before I close, I'll say this. It is very refreshing. It's very refreshing to get two teams that, you know, you don't really hear about much. Two teams that played pretty good throughout the season and felt like they earned a right to get to the Super Bowl. These two teams, the way they played, they fought to get to the Super Bowl. And this is awesome because lately, and this happens in all sports, I ain't gonna say all, but mostly basketball and football. You get a lot of players that are a little bit older, or they're supposed to be the GOAT. They're supposed to be the greatest of all time, and it comes with a sense of entitlement. Like you like saying like the Tom Brady's of the world. People watch football, feel like Brady's entitled to be to the Super Bowl. He should be in the Super Bowl. He needs to, and you know, after seeing him in the Super Bowl so many times, you can understand why. But you got to understand, there's 31 other teams out there. Aaron Rodgers, for instance, people feel like he's entitled to get to the Super Bowl because he's older, he's so good, his legacy. Same thing with Tom Brady. His legacy, this, that, and the third. People feel like these two players are entitled. You know, when Peyton Manning and Eli Manning and when they all played, you know, you had fans that felt this way. Ben Roethlisberger was another one. They felt like he's been around so long. It's like these old veteran quarterbacks are the ones that are, you know, that should be in the Super Bowl every year. Some of these TV networks, they push it all the time. And it gets kind of old. So it was kind of fun not to see Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, be in the Super Bowl this year. And I'm not saying it as a hater, just like, I mean, come on now. Yeah, it's great. You won all these Super Bowls. It's awesome. And I'm not taking nothing away from that. But it's just refreshing to see somebody different, and you watch them create their own story. You watch a Joe Burrow create his own story. You watch, these other guys who've been around for a long time to make them oh man, I done lost his name, Matthew Stafford. You watch it definitely Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald did everything the right way. Been to one team after he left, the University of Pitt. Been with the Rams, done everything right to do right by the team, even though times where he held out. He stuck with his one team, and it'd be awesome to see him win one that way. It's just a good feeling. Odell Beckham, I mean, look at the turmoil he's been in, and he's finally able to possibly win a Super Bowl. It's just, when you just look at stuff like that, it's refreshing to see another person, another player, another athlete, create their legacy. Because, I mean, you look at Tom Brady, you look at Aaron Rodgers, for the most part, Aaron Rodgers haven't won a Super Bowl since, 2011. His legacy's already set. Do you see the numbers that he put up? His legacy's already set. You look at Tom Brady, I mean, what do I need to say? Legacy already set. It is awesome to see like a Patrick Mahomes and, hell, even, Matthew Stafford, the all the things he's been through in Detroit. It's really cool to see that happen. So speaking of legacy, let's talk about Tom Brady before I get out of here. Did Tom Brady really retire? I'm not really sure. I mean, I posted it on my Twitter when it came across the ESPN wires, and they said he retired after 22 years. And after that, everybody in Brady's camp say, hey, wait a minute, we haven't heard anything about this. Tom Brady Sr. said, hey, I didn't hear anything. His agent, hey, I didn't say anything. I didn't hear anything. Tom Brady, nobody's heard from Tom Brady yet. Quick analysis of this. I don't think Tom Brady obviously hasn't officially retired because you haven't heard anything from him, but there's a lot of rumblings in that camp saying that he has. And I don't think it's official until he says it. Now, there's been a lot of rumblings of what he said on, let me do this real quick. I'm sorry. Let me do this real quick. Bam. Let's move that right there. I don't think that a lot of people have, I think I'm going to take that back. I think a lot of people listen to what he said prior to this news, as far as I think he was on a podcast or a radio station, and the things he's been saying pretty much leaning towards retirement. And I said this last week. When the family is really on your mind, all this stuff changes. You want to be there for your family at the end of the day. You've done everything that you can for this team. You've done everything for your legacy and to be honest with you, for yourself, football-wise. And it's like, I understand when you are in a situation where it's like, okay, I think I'm going ahead to retire. Because you look at the kids, you look at the wife, you look at your spouse if you're in another profession and you're female, you see how much of a toll it takes on situations like this. I mean, it does do something to the family. Kids are getting older, they're about to become teenagers. You missed out on most of their childhood, and you probably want to be there to watch them do everything else. And I get it. The passion to compete is always going to be there, but at some point you're going to look at it like, damn, I got to go through another year of this. Even though I love doing it, but like, damn, I got to go through another year of this. The OTAs, the practices, the film study, the traveling, going through the preseason traveling, going through all these 17 games now, and possibly going to the play. Because once you go to the 17 games, Tom Brady's probably the way he plays football and the team that's around him is probably a lock that they're going to the playoffs. And it's a given. So now you're talking about 17 plus games, probably going deep into the playoffs. Probably maybe Super Bowl. Now you're looking at a situation here. It's like, yeah, this is going to be fun to compete, but it's taking a toll on my body. I don't care what anybody says. He may take great care of his body, but your ligaments, your joints, and your ligaments and joints, you can't do nothing about them. They're going to bother you. And I'm pretty sure Tom Brady, as much shape as he's in, he's going to have that type of pain. You know, that's just natural. You can do whatever you can to your muscle mass. You can do whatever you can to your cardiovascular and, all the other things that you can control when you're doing, workouts. But your ligaments and joints, that you can't do nothing about. I mean, the only thing you do about joints is take shots. The only thing you do about ligaments is hope and pray nothing happens. So it's a tough battle. That's a lot of football that you're going to do. And to be honest with you, Tom Brady's not going to come back just to be, one and done in the playoffs. With the way that he plays right now is literally Super Bowl or bust. You're not, and that's another thing why I go back to the entitlement thing. People, the people don't want to see Aaron Rodgers play just to be knocked out in the divisional championship. The divisional round. People don't want to see Tom Brady play just to be knocked out in the divisional round. It doesn't work like that. When you're at this level, of your football or basketball career or baseball career, you're not going to be playing just to say, oh man, hopefully I make the playoffs. No, this is Super Bowl or bust time. This is why a lot of people look at LeBron James the way he does. Yes, LeBron James have won 4 titles, but people are going through the motions of looking at this basketball season like, what the hell is going on here? Let's just hope he makes the 8th seed, and after that, all bets are off. It's a failure at this point if you just get into the playoffs and don't do anything. Like, seriously, once you make it to this status of an athlete or make it this status of a player, you're not just going just to make it in the playoffs. Tom Brady is Super Bowl or bust, point blank. So it's a lot. That's why I say it's a lot towing the line on if he comes back. And then there's also other rumblings saying that by February 4th, if he stays on the roster, he gets a $20 million bonus. So that's a reason why you don't want to announce your retirement early, to be honest. Look, I'll play the game and get that bonus, and like around Valentine's Day, be like, Bruce Arians and company, it was fun, but I'm out. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't need the money, but hey, I understand if it goes down like that. I totally understand if it goes down like that. But that's pretty much it. Before I go, I just got this notification on my phone, not on my phone, but on my computer. Weird. The Rams will be visitors and the Bengals will be the home team in Super Bowl 56. Weird. Okay. I just didn't think about it. All right, well, I'm about to get up out of here. If you like this content, please hit the like button if you're over there on YouTube, or give me a good rating on the podcast avenue. Also subscribe to the YouTube and the podcast avenue if you haven't already. Like I said, whatever podcast avenue you use, iTunes, Spotify, Anchor, Google, Stitcher, whatever the ones you like to use, just subscribe, because if you subscribe, soon as I put up an episode, in some cases it'll automatically download for you and you can listen to it whenever you want. If you're over here on YouTube and that's not your thing, that's great. This will be up as soon as possible. Usually I try to put it up around 9 o'clock in the morning, and every morning, Monday through Friday, and whenever you're ready to listen to it, it's there for you. So thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm going to get up out of here. I got to do some stuff around the house, and I'm going to be chilling out and probably play some video games later. All right, y'all. You guys take it easy. You guys be blessed. Happy Monday. Hopefully you enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, y'all. Y'all be blessed. Peace.